Chapter 3. Sinister Alliance. Lisa Chin was a woman who often interacted with others, but did not really confide much with those she met. Her business was one where discretion would always be the better choice, though mistakes were often made. She and her son, Ricky Chin Davis, or Little Ricky as everyone called him, lived in a modest-sized home on the edge of town. Lisa and Little Ricky were forced to move to the outskirts of town after a family disagreement. Of course, family disagreement was put mildly. But that is what parents did for their children. It had been 15 years since the murder of Little Ricky's father, and Lisa Chin was desperately trying to raise her son away from street violence and corruption, something she was familiar with, especially in her line of work. Breakfast that morning was the usual, cereal with milk, but no sugar. Little Ricky liked having sugar, but his mother insisted on not eating it. She wanted him to stay healthy at his age, and he always wanted to be a good son to his mother. Though that did not stop him from sneaking a couple scoops of sugar into his milk. It should be said, though, that Little Ricky, despite the name, was not too young either. The boy had grown plenty, even though the name had stuck. His mother still treated him like a child at times, but Little Ricky did not mind. The mother and son were having breakfast at the kitchen table, and the television was on. The television was an older model, even though they could afford a new TV. However, it was a memory of times past that Lisa Chin preferred to keep. It got the job done, as they did not need to waste money on flashy things. Buying expensive stuff puts you in some unwanted crosshairs too. Breakfast was usually a silent affair, and the TV was the only sound that was heard in the Chin's home, or at least conversation was not sparked until necessary. Whatever they were watching halted for the commercial break, and the first thing that came was a familiar name and tune. This is Richard Kelly's Ford and Nissan Auto Shop, where your job is your credit. Remember, here, there is no credit check, and with as little as a deposit of $99 down, you could drive away with a brand new Ford or Nissan of your choice. The sound of chewing and the clink of spoons stopped as their attention drew to the commercial. At Richard Kelly's Ford and Nissan, do like our mascot Kelly the Frog and jump over here for these great deals. Why have a boat when you can helm a yacht? It was Little Ricky who spoke first. Damn, Richard Kelly is giving cars away. My crew and I are going to get us some new wheels soon, he said with a bunch of cereal still in his mouth. His mother lightly struck him on the shoulder.
Little Ricky, shut your ass up,
she exclaimed.
You know your half-black ass is not going to be caught dead driving in a damn Ford or Nissan.
She goaded him.
All you know is BMW and Mercedes-Benz. With that $100,000 shining coat, with your spoiled ass. You are not fooling anybody.
Lisa laughed. Little Ricky raised an eyebrow as his head turned towards his mother. That is true, he said, a smirk visible on his face. Who was it that spoiled me anyway, Ma?
Oh, that was me.
His mother shot back, still laughing.
I did that all by myself, too.
A bit of cereal and milk escaped from her mouth as she said it, and she had to catch it with her spoon.
Anyway, did you hear what happened at the park? You know, Robin Antonio Park, the one just a few miles from here?
She took a bite of her cereal as she looked to her son, examining his reaction. He seemed uninterested.
I do not want you or your fucked up crew spending time together there. You hear?
She said, a bit louder, quite sternly too.
Shit is getting crazy. I would have never gotten a place anywhere near that park if I knew it would be that bad of a place.
She began to speak to herself more than her son, who listened quietly. He knew that he had to let her speak, or he would get a smack on his noggin.
Hell, who knew that it would end up becoming a murder crime scene one day? What was the point of moving us out this damn far in bumfuck nowhere to still deal with this same shit again? I lost your father to that shit. You hear? And I'm not losing my baby the same way. Do you understand, Little Ricky?
She began to caress his hair as she spoke. Yes, Ma, he said, cringing a bit at his mother's touch, but knowing better than to even try to swat her hand away. I'm not a kid anymore, though. I'm 19 years old now, and I got this. I can take care of myself.
I know, baby,
his mother responded, clearly not willing to let go of the matter. Nothing is going to happen to us, Ma. I'm ready to start contributing to the bills around here, too. You know I'm co-head of the household now. I'm a full-grown ass man. He propped his chin up and stiffened his shoulders, as if to assert himself. He sat up in his chair, rearranging his posture to one where he could be seen as important.
Boy, sit your ass down.
His mother responded kindly, clearly thinking of his antics as nothing.
You just worry about finishing college. I got everything else. Our family needs a lawyer. Someone that will not charge us for legal advice. Pro bono stuff. It's easy to get a good one for that. You know this family is always in some shit.
They resumed eating their breakfast. Neither were paying attention at this point.
Now, I must take care of some business today. Make sure this house's doors are locked and the burglar alarm is turned on when you leave. Here's $200 for food and whatever else you want, baby.
She handed her son the money, but he was busy with his breakfast, so she put the money on the table under a salt shaker.
Mommy may not come home tonight if she's lucky. All right, baby? I'm trying to get under someone, if you know what I mean.
She looked at him, though her son's response was one that she did not like. She wanted to be able to talk to him about things like this, even if it made him uncomfortable. To whom else would she talk? She needed him to understand that he should never get into this kind of life. I don't want to hear that shit, Mom, he said, quickly. Whatever you do is your business. Just let the guy know I'm not calling him Dad. He put down his spoon. Plus, like I always tell you, I do not need any money. I still have a few stacks left over from yesterday. Now enjoy yourself. I love you, Mom. Behave yourself.
I love you more, baby.
She said as she kissed his forehead, hurrying to leave the house.
And I'll tell you something. Do not have your little dirty ass friends in my living room.
She pointed one finger towards him as a warning.
You know the rules.
I know the living room is for show only and for your company, Ma, he said as if the line was rehearsed. He had said it 1,000 times already during the days that his mom left. I got it, Mom. Lisa Chin left the house with an overnight bag and some confidence. She knew her son was up to no good, but she was trying her best to make sure he at least gets the idea of second-guessing himself before he makes some stupid decisions. Once she drove down the street and turned the corner, little Ricky saw her leave through the window. He quickly reached for his phone and sent a few text messages. After that, he made a call. Yo, I need you all to meet me at my house in 30 minutes. We gotta cut this stuff today. I'll have the house to myself tonight, so bring all the product and the money, he quickly said. On the phone, he could have been more careful. He should have. Since in his hurry, things were forgotten and carelessness gave way to recklessness. I want to get rid of all the product in 1 week, all right? We're not pushers, guys. We are not some small-time, big-time dealers. Shit, we rob them. Let us be real. Who are they gonna tell? The police? Those police officers can't do shit. How are they gonna help them? It's perfect. Now hurry up. If they had been drug dealers, they would have realized to be less open about their extracurricular activities. But little Ricky was not exactly born subtle. Meanwhile, Detective Kelly was visiting the Richard Kelly Ford and Nissan dealership to talk to the owner himself. Some might say their names were the only things they had in common, but the detective would have said that power and ambition were the two things always inherent, never acquired, and that those were their most common traits. But that was also why the detective did not like it when he was instructed to wait in the lobby until Mr. Kelly was available. People should be available for me, not the other way around, he thought to himself. He knew that in this world respect had to be earned the hard way, and he was nothing if not the kind to bear a few scratches as he took what he wanted. Richard Kelly was the owner of the car dealership, but that is not all he was. As it turns out, selling repossessed vehicles as new and running one of the largest crime rings and drug organizations in town were professions that perfectly synergized, each profited, from their association. Just like his dealership, his organization logo itself is the leaping frog. An outsider familiar with both would have made the connection in an instant, which is exactly why Richard Kelly knew it was the perfect cover. Right under your nose, he would say to the detective at times, as he had asked on more than one occasion why the man took the same mantle of his drug organization as a perfectly legitimate one. Of course, Richard knew how to play the game too. He often used his power and influence to control the local politicians in the police department. He could hold up detectives until he was ready to entertain them, as he was doing just now. It took a while, but after a few minutes, Richard Kelly emerged from his office. What a pleasure to see you, Detective Kelly. How can I help you today? Did the police department enjoy the new Ford Crown Victoria squad cars I donated? The man was a business person at heart, the detective noted. Direct and efficient, not missing a beat, something that was used often against people that preferred to skirt around the truth.
Yes, sir, everyone is happy. And they all give thanks to you again for your generosity. Your donations are much appreciated,
said the detective. Of course, nothing was free, and the detective knew that. The man would hold this over the police department, as did any other politician who bought his colleagues through donations. Anything to help the police officers, eh, detective? 'Cause at Richard Kelly Ford and Nissan, blue lives matter too. The man's enthusiasm was no facade, and that was why the detective referred to him as Sir.
Good to hear that. May we talk in your office, sir?
Sure, he exclaimed, before he waved to get the attention of the woman sitting outside his office door. Alcia, please let everyone know that I'm in a meeting. Hold my calls.
Sure, Richard.
The woman replied, getting up from her chair but not moving further. She was not expecting Richard to stop either.
However, I need to talk to you later about some accounting issues.
All right, Alcia. After my meeting with the detective, he replied as she slowly sat back down. Alcia Adams was the head accountant at Richard Kelly's dealership. She always had a knack for numbers and kept accounts for every penny spent at the dealership. Though, of course, that job came with some additional unofficial responsibilities. The detective did not waste any time as they reached the office.
Richard, we have a problem,
he said as he closed the door behind him.
We found a couple of murdered Mexicans on the outskirts of town at Robin Antonio Park.
Okay, some dead Mexicans? What's the damn problem? Richard Kelly responded, uninterested in the event, or at least so far.
It is not the Mexicans that are the problem. We found a kilo of cocaine and it was not one of yours.
The detective saw the man's eyes dart towards his own. It was surreal seeing this old geezer seem scared.
The package had a red chili pepper logo stamped on it. So either you changed logos or there is a new drug organization in town.
There was silence for a while, and Richard took his chin in his hands as he thought for a good minute. Well, it damn sure is not mine. We only use the leaping green frog over here, baby. His tone changed back to his enthusiastic self, and the detective was very wary of this. The man was after a challenge, and he had found it. Now, what are you going to do about this problem, detective? Damn, the detective thought to himself. He is already cashing in. Those new cars are not free, damn it. What were they? Ford Crown Victorias, if I'm not mistaken, correct? He asked the detective. The deal is, I will supply you with all the cars and other things. You, in return, make sure I'm the only supplier of drugs in this city. Now, do we have a misunderstanding, or do you understand? The jolly tone was back, but the words did not match the tone.
Absolutely. I just thought you wanted to be aware of this new threat,
the detective replied, far quicker than he would have wanted. He knew it did not matter, but he did not want to show his vulnerability in front of the man. No, you were right to inform me, and I apologize for being harsh, Richard responded. His words were genuine, but the truly clear threat was still there. I just got a lot of pressure on me, and I cannot afford more competition. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Alcia Adams peeked through, reminding Richard Kelly about an urgent matter.
I am so sorry to bother you, gentlemen,
she said as she came in.
Although, I must talk to Mr. Kelly in private, now.
The detective could not be happier at the interruption, but he kept his cool. Detective Kelly, would you please excuse us, and thank you again for stopping by. Go check out the new Ford Mustang while you are here. Hell, son, take it for a test drive.
No, thank you,
he replied to the detective.
I must get back to work. You all have a wonderful day.
The detective briskly walked towards the exit. He walked out of the office, and Alcia immediately told Richard Kelly her concerns. The detective was still within earshot, but he did not make out everything she said, only bits and pieces.
Richard, we have a major problem,
she told her boss. Are you kidding me? Asked Richard. Is that all anyone can say to me today? Not, hi Richard, I love the new TV ad, or Richard, you look amazing in your new suit today. There was no pause before she answered.
Richard, you look amazing in your new suit.
Why, thank you. It is Italian, you know, real stuff. Now, what is so damn important this time? He asked. The woman cleared her throat and regained her composure a bit. The comment had clearly thrown her off.
We're making too much money at the dealership, and the car sales are not reflecting the increase in profits.
Hello, that is great news, the old man answered. bewildered at the suggestion that it was not. Show me the profits. Alcia sighed. She knew she was dealing with a difficult man, but even this was not something that took too much thinking to understand. She knew he understood it very well, which is where her frustrations truly lay.
No, it is not a good thing. The IRS has already audited us twice in the last 2 years. Eventually, they will find something. I cannot keep editing the books. We need to make some changes soon.
Let me worry about the profits, he cut her off. I will donate some of the funds to some black church or youth center that always took care of the problem in the past. Just do your part and I'll do mine, okay?
Look, Richard, I love you like family, but I'm not going to prison over no stupid shit. Please take care of this shit as soon as possible. Use some of that Richard Kelly magic.
The man, for all his power, had a soft spot for some people. He could have squeezed where it hurt, but power is not power if not executed effectively. He let it go, for now, and smiled. Do not worry. There's always some Richard Kelly magic, darling. Besides, we're like family here, and families take care of each other. Now forget about this silly issue and enjoy your day. Alcia knew that she had crossed the line. She knew he had asked her something impossible, but that is what people in power did. They asked others to do the impossible, and they took the credit, unless they needed someone else to do it for them.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you had fun or picked up anything from this episode, please assist us by hitting the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. You can also comment and share our content. These small things really help our channel and mean a lot to us. Also, special thanks to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the heartbeat of this channel, and we can't thank you enough for being so generous. If you would like to join our Patreon community, please click on the link below. You can contribute as little as $5 per month. You can get all kinds of perks. You can even buy merchandise of your favorite characters at our shop store. Click on the link provided below. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, remember you are cherished by us. So be kind and know that we consider you as family.